Dane Cook may have over 1.5 million MySpace friends, but not since Larry the Cable Guy has a nation been so divided on whether or not a comedian is actually funny. Best-selling CDs, highly rated cable television shows, 2 top 10 podcasts, but is Dane Cook really the comedic genius his fans claim that he is? Harmful if swallowed, kids. It's The Loop. Joining us tonight, Los Angeles-based comic Sheldon Anderson and comic and writer for Giant Magazine even, Peter Grumbine. Welcome to The Loop, gentlemen.
Well, hey, thanks for having us.
Very, very Dane Cook special here. Peter, point blank, tell me yes or no, is Dane Cook the funniest man in America?
Not at all. Dane Cook is the best symbol of what's wrong with this country we have going today.
I thought that was Larry the Cable Guy, but why Cook?
He's Larry the Cable Guy without an accent and sometimes with sleeves. Not always, though. This guy, he's a classic example of what the problem is. It's all style over substance.
Peter, do you know him in his personal life? I mean, are you calling him a sleaze because he's dressed well? Because clearly nobody's got as nice a jackets as you and I, Peter. They can't all afford it.
I feel that, but you know what? He wears women's jeans. I'm pretty sure of that much. Take a look.
Hey, I've been known to don the Rockin' Republics from time to time. Let's not judge based on the denim. Listen, 84% of our viewers said that no, he's not that great. But the second comedy album, Retaliation, this debuted number 4 on the Billboard charts. Sheldon, clearly somebody out there thinks he's funny, right?
Well, if 84% say he's not the funniest person in the world, doesn't that necessarily mean that 16% of the people polled do think he is the funniest person in the world?
And they're a very vocal 16%, apparently. They took the time to text message.
Well, not only they took
the
time to text Mex. Well, they took the time to text Mex. They text Mex. That's a role like that they got in dinner time. No, they text message the guy. And they got his movie in the red already. I mean, it came out 3 days ago. It's already making money. He sold Madison Square Garden out, 20,000 people in 3 hours, and he got a second show that same night. I would say that's popular. And he's making people laugh the whole time. That's what we call funny and popular.
Well, Peter, let's talk about his movie for a second. Employee of the Month comes out. I mean, with 1.5 million MySpace fans and the college scene loving him, he is selling out at arenas. You'd think this movie might be number 1 at the box office, but it opens up at number 4.
Well, you know, they promoted it too much. People saw what it was going to be and then decided not to go. If they had kept it some sort of mystery, maybe more people might have shown up. I had the misfortune of watching like a 30-second clip on YouTube, and I was nauseous. That movie's going nowhere. And really, with a comic like Dane Cook, who's just all action, all gestures and all that, you'd think he'd translate to a better actor, because we know writing's not his skill, so he's not being forced to do that. It seems like he could incorporate some of that crazy monkey gesture.
Peter, the only thing that made me nauseous was not seeing enough double Ds of Jessica Simpson. That was my problem on it. But as a show, that thing was great. It was a romantic comedy. It was a cast of characters. He was a cast of some of the characters, and he did his job. One of his jobs was getting people to come, some of his fan base. And he got enough people to come to make money. That's more than a lot of comics in anywhere can say right now.
It's perfect you mentioned Jessica Simpson. Those two are great for each other. They're the most artificial, substanceless hacks that I've ever seen. They could go together and have the worst baby. If she had a baby from Dane Cook, it would come out as just a blast of air. It would be nothing. It'd be this little blast of air, then you kind of feel like it was dancing around, then it'd be gone.
Well, listen, I wish all of the guys had problems like that. Getting a girl pregnant that's that hot and coming out as a blast of air. Mine came out as a blast of money.
All right. Why are people so divided over this guy, though? Peter, what do you think? I mean, why is it about him that separates so many?
He's so over the top, and those who really know comedy and see comedy see there's such a disparity between his success and his actual skill as a comic. I'll give you, he can tell a story about nothing for a long time, but when it comes down to it, he's just gesturing wildly like a monkey on cocaine with a microphone. This guy really has nothing to leave out there. He just quotes and does he's more of an interpretive dancer than comedian.
I got something coming in. It sounds like a lot of grumbling. Oh, no, it's Peter Grumbine talking about a guy that has nothing. If he had nothing, there's no way he could fill an hour-and-a-half show, another disc. He's got CDs all over the place, always with new material.
Well, now here's the thing, Sheldon. You just mentioned, like, he is everywhere. He uses his MySpace, he uses YouTube, he uses everything he can to promote himself. Perhaps have we come to a point where Dane Cook might be too oversaturated, that maybe he's his own worst enemy and that people are just kind of tired of seeing him?
My God, the second he even added Tom as a friend on MySpace, he was overexposed.
Peter, I think the question was directed at me, but I guess your name's Sheldon. This guy's overexposed over here. He can't figure out when to stop talking. I mean, the comic life or any entertainer, there's no overexposure unless you've stopped creating and producing, and he clearly hasn't stopped.
All right, well, Cook says that other comics have a stigma. He said they're all so dark and ball-busty and negative. Peter, is it at least somewhat refreshing to see a comedian who doesn't have to resort to insulting others to get a laugh?
He's insulting his fans with his material. I don't know. That's kind of the ultimate irony here. He's not being insulting intentionally, but he's really underestimating the world's intelligence.
I think there's a lot of college guys that are drunk right now that want to insult Peter.
I think there's a lot of 14-year-old girls that want to insult me. There's little teenage girls with their daddy's allowance that have ruined the entertainment industry.
That's illegal, Peter.
And now there's a lot of parents who want to assault you. But thank you both for that. Look, there's no disputing that Dane Cook is funny, but he's not the end-all, be-all of comedy. But he does have one thing that most comedians don't, and that he really caters to the fans and he interacts with them. And you got to appreciate him for that, at least. Of course, I want to thank Peter and Sheldon for keeping us in the loop.